Okay, in this video we are going to be making this 2x4 inclined piece right here, okay, which is essentially just a 2x4 but with this slope in it. Go ahead and close this out, and I've gone ahead and taken a screenshot of all the important dimensions for this unique feature, and of course our standard 2x4 Lego brick. Alright, let's get started with an extrude. And normally we select top plane, but for this one, I'm going to select the right plane. And here's why. It will be a lot easier for us to create this shape and just make it one extrude than it will be to create a rectangle and then to create this cut. That's two different features we would need to do. This way we only have to do one feature. And it's a fairly simple feature too. You never want to get the features too complicated, but this is still fairly simple. We can just create a rectangle and then put a line chain through it, which is exactly what we're going to do. So we'll start off with a rectangle, roughly like this, and we need to scale it down a bit. So let's see here, we have 0.625 and 0.375. 0.625 and 0.375. Okay, and I'm going to click and drag these dimensions in so that we can properly look at this feature. This sketch. There we go. Okay, so we need to create this angled surface. So to do that, I'm going to put a line chain from, I will say from here to here. The important thing is to not have it snap in to any feature such as, say, this center line or corner, uh, because we want to leave it open for us to edit the different dimensions. And we'll go ahead and delete this segment and that segment. And the segment right here. And we have a complete sketch. So we need to change this dimension to 0.32. This height is going to be 0.07. And then we need this angle right here, which if we check it using dimension, you'll see it shows up as 135, which is exactly what we need. 135. Okay, there we go. Go ahead and hit OK. And then we just need the standard length of a 2x4, which you can see up here is 1.25. 1.25. And we'll OK that. Alright. So here's our piece. And actually, make things easier on us, let's go ahead and change this right here to symmetric. That way it rotates about the center. There we go. And now you can see we have this plane in the center right here as opposed to being on the end. Alright, next thing we're going to do is we're going to put in 4 studs on the top. So we'll do 1 and then we'll pattern it 3 more times across. Sketch view, create a circle, and let's throw a stud down right there. Alright, and studs are going to be 0.19 in diameter. You can see that it's not quite 0.19, it's very close to it. Go ahead and make it exactly 0.19. and they're going to be 0.15625. 0.15625 from their respective edges. I'm going to go ahead and use dimension and flip that around to this side. 0.1565, just like that. Right, and that locks in our circle. Hit OK, and let's get a height for it. 0.078 on the front view, as always. 0.078. And click OK. Right, so we have a first stud down. Let's go ahead and select it. Actually, before we do that, let's go ahead and name these. So we'll name this brick, and we'll name this stud 1 for the first stud, and then we're going to go ahead and pattern it. Okay, and we're going to select this edge right here because we want to pattern along here. How many members do we want? We want 4. You can see it shows up 4, just like that. And the spacing in between studs, which we can get from this top view right here. You can see from the center of each stud, 0.313. 0.313. Okay. I'm going to close that and hit OK. And there we are, 4 studs. And let's go ahead and name it pattern 1 of stud 1. Alright, let's go ahead and shell out the bottom. Just like that. And the thickness, as always, 0.052. 0.052, which we'll enter in right there. Alright. Now we need to put some tubes in. And for this, I'm going to actually select this surface right here. And we're going to go down to this surface right here. You could also select this bottom surface right here and come up to the edge. Either one works. I simply prefer to select the bottom and then go up to the top. Alright, so create one stud, and of course the studs are going to be on the center line. So now to be careful, this is not the center, this is the center line right here. So we'll select this and create our tube, which is made up of 2 circles. Oops. Get the second circle in there. There we go. You can see it fills in when we create a tube. And we just need its distance from the edge and the 2 diameters. And we have our distance from the edge right here, 0.313 once again. 0.313. And our 2 diameters. Now be careful here because we are given this diameter right here, which, if you notice, is the inner diameter of 0.19, and the outer diameter is up here, 0.25. So 0.19 and 0.25. 0.19, 0.25. It doesn't matter which one you select, as long as you put in the correct values. Alrighty. Go ahead and select OK for that. And we need it to come up. And I'm going to use this feature called to reference, which basically will extrude it to any surface that I select. So if I select this bottom surface, it will extrude until it touches that surface right there. I'm going to go ahead and hit OK, and it will stick out right here, but that's okay. It has to, in order for there to be no gap on this arc right here. If we want this edge right here to touch, it's going to stick out the top right here. But we'll just go back and clean it up later. All right, and let's go ahead and pattern this. We'll call this tube. And we're going to select it and then pattern it just like we did before. So direction, I'm going to just select one of these edges so that it's going in the direction that the edge is going. They're going to be 3 tubes, and the tubes have a spacing in between. See right here and right here, have a spacing of 0.313. Spacing 0.313. Select OK. And there are our tubes. All right, and then let's go ahead and clean this up. The easiest way to do it is simply to select this surface right here, and then any sort of shape, rectangle will work, doesn't matter what size, what dimensions, where we put it, just as long as it covers everything. Okay, that just a little bit. That should be good. We just don't want it to cut off these. But as long as it isn't cutting off the tips of these right here, and as long as it's covering all of these, we'll be fine. So we basically just create this, and then we hit remove material. And it basically cuts everything from this surface out. We can click OK for that. Okay, and that is our 2x4 inclined Lego piece. Save your work, and we are done.